Welcome, everyone, to the Real Estate Deal Room powered by Home Loans Network. I use those two names because I have two podcasts on the same station. Well, my podcast is all about real estate and mortgages and money and all things nobody explains until you already emotionally attached to the house or real estate investing as a whole. And then you find out it's a possibility you can or cannot get that property. However, I'm Ebonie Beatco. I'm a mortgage strategist, a real estate educator, professional deal killer, and the best awesome way. And the person who will absolutely tell you no if the deal does not make sense. I'm that go-to person. I almost said go-to chick. I'm that go-to person. Yes, sometimes I might ruin vibes for a living because, you didn't get everything that you wanted or you was praying for. But sometimes some of the things that we pray for is not the things that are good for us. So I'm that person that, if I feel like you're going to be financially irresponsible, yes, I'm going to ruin that vibe. I'm going to kill your joy to say, hey, that's not a good deal. I would rather be totally honest with you. So if your deal needs prayers, hopes, or manifesting, I'm probably not your girl. Because like I said, if it needs math and the math ain't mathing and the structure is not structuring and the strategy is not there, guess what? Pull up a chair and I need you to start listening to me right now. If you're that person that is looking to buy 5 properties with no credit, no money, and no job, well, this is not going to be that podcast. I'm going to keep it real with you as much as possible on this particular podcast, but not even just the podcast as a whole. Even on my TikToks, I do short TikToks that get straight to the point so you don't have to listen to all of the extra stuff. But in this particular podcast today, like I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. So with that being said, if you're looking for education, real numbers, real stories, and just honestly, occasionally, why would you do that? Moment like what the yes, you're in the right place with Miss Ebonie here, your mortgage strategist and your senior loan officer, as well as a real estate investor myself. I don't play when it comes to business. Now, today's episode is one that I get a lot of people, they ask me about this. Why do I run 2 different TikTok pages? And why are they so different? Let me tell you something. First, I love marketing. And second, it's all about algorithm. And a short answer, because real estate is already confusing enough. And if I refuse to be the person that everybody wants me to be, meaning all over the place, right? That's going to confuse everybody. So if someone wants to make 6 figures and they want to lose 6 figures by mistake because of a social media mashed everything together, then that's on them, right? But what I do is try to separate because everybody is not a one size fit all. There are first-time home buyers, then there are the real estate investors. Those are 2 different categories. So if you put a first-time home buyer with a real estate investor and put them in the same room to try to get the knowledge and education, that can turn around and derail their first-time home buyer from even wanting to just buy their first property to potentially becoming a real estate investor, because the reality is it's an overload, it's too much. And if a real estate investor sees everything for first time home buyers, they get bored. And guess what? They may make that 6-figure, 7-figure mistake because what they feel like the information I'm providing is not only boring, but, I can go to another platform and get it, or I can pay this expensive price for a course or a class to get it. But in actuality, they're getting information from somebody who, no offense, don't have a freaking pot to piss in or no experience to back it up. So let me explain why I have the 2 TikTok pages and why you should really follow them. But this is true, like why. And even if you're not a real estate investor or not even in real estate, or if you are, it doesn't matter. Even if you're doing social media, depending upon what you're doing, please separate the content, because marketing and is everything. Overloading people with too much information is everything that can kill your brand, that can kill deals. And then the algorithm, understand algorithm. But here's the thing, not everyone is in the same place in their real estate or mortgage journey, right? There are some people who are, like I said, the first time home buyers. They're terrified of credit pulls. They're Googling what is escrow at 2:17 in the morning. And then those first time home buyers, like I said, now you got these real estate investors. They're running numbers. They're scaling portfolios. They're asking if a deal cash flows make sense before falling in love with, granite countertops. So when you're trying to talk to everyone at once, nobody learns. Everybody's confused. Everything is all over the place. And somebody ends up crying during underwriting. And that's why I separate the education. And somebody end up paying somebody $5, $10, $15, $50,000 for all of these crazy courses when they don't have to. When I give this information away for free, because I love genuinely doing what I do. And I've been doing this for over 25 freaking years. That's no joke. I tell anybody all day long, Google me, Google Ebonie Biko, Google Ebonie Caldwell. You will see that I am the real deal when it comes to this stuff. Now, let me talk about my first TikTok, right? That's called at the real estate deal room. So it's at the dot real estate deal room together. So again, it's at the, and then it's a dot real estate deal room all together. That particular TikTok is like how to think, how to structure, how to win. Like, remember, it's the deal room. It's the real estate deal room, right? This is my education, my market insights. This is like the real estate news platform. This is where I go live and teach you how to actually think through deals, how to buy portfolios, how to structure your deal, how to get the right financing. Yes, do I do mortgage financing? Yes, but only in 11 states currently. And the reality of it is, if you do not have the right mortgage platform or the financing team in order, or even a realtor in order, your deal is sometimes almost good as dead, because not only you are only as good as the information that's provided to you, but it's only so much that you could do. I don't care how smart you are as a real estate investor. Understand you have a lot of other things that you need to do, such as growing your portfolio, such as meeting with the contractors, such as deciding if you're going to have a property management company, or if you're going to be the property management company. And if you decide you're going to be the property management company because you're growing your portfolios, now this puts you in a situation whereas, oh, wow, now I have to learn this, or I have to, scale this. I have to make this better than this. I need to structure this more. So that's where I come in at. It's like, look at me as your back office support for knowledge that you're not paying for. Let me give you an example of the things that, I do at the real estate deal room TikTok page, right? This is not like a place where as I manifest the deal energy. Not at all. Because, they always say whether it's God or whatever God you believe in, prayer without works is dead. So we can manifest all day long, and I can motivate you all day long. But if there's not no real energy there, and the calculations and the numbers, doesn't even matter sometimes. This podcast is a bring a calculator energy podcast, not a manifestation podcast where we gonna manifest the deal, but we ain't did, faith without works is dead. I wanted to curse, but I'm trying to really be nice because Ebonie loved the curse. I'll give you a good example. This is what a real deal looks like, right? Until you run the numbers, let's talk about what a real deal is. So let's say you're buying a rental property for $300,000. The market rent is $2,600 a month. The annual rent, that's $2,600 multiplied by 12, is $31,200. Now we have operating expenses at roughly 35%. Now remember, if you decide to be your own management company, this could possibly change, right? Meaning in a lower end. But then how much time are you risking? How much are you worth? What is your value? Could you be using that time to do other things? So it really depends upon you, okay? But again, let me rewind, and so I don't get off track. Okay, the property that you purchase is $300,000. The market rent is $2,600 a month. The annual rent, multiply that by 12, is $31,200. Your operating expenses is roughly around 35%. That's going to put you at $10,920. So that leaves a net operating income of $20,280. Now, let's talk about debt. Okay, we're not done yet. So if your annual mortgage payment is $21,600, your DSCR, which your debt service coverage ratio, is 0.94%. Now, listen here. That deal does not qualify. That deal does not cash flow. That deal does not care how excited you are. So on at the real estate deal room TikTok channel, I show you how to renegotiate the purchase price, adjust deal structure, change the loan program, or just honestly walk away confidently knowing that, fuck it, you the shit. Like walking away knowing that you the shit, you got this, you can keep it moving, and you on to the next property, right? Because you want to make sure that you get a good deal. Winning deals actually happens before you submit the offer, not after the appraisal, okay? I also break down interest rate changes, inventory shifts, seller motivations, investors' behavior, and I do live it. I don't just talk it, I live it. I am verifiable. I am Googleable. They should put that word in the dictionary or Wikipedia. You know, I'm going to make, in a new age of AI, I could put that in AI, Googleable. That's invented by me because I am definitely Googleable. And I'm not a celebrity, but I am a hard-working woman in this business. Now, again, like I said, I live it. I live this in real time. So people can ask questions while I'm literally breaking down deals right there on the screen. Like, I want you to ask me questions, send me a message. You can, join my live, right? Send me a message. You can, actually physically join the live and interact with me. I love this. So make sure you please subscribe to the Real Estate Deal Room. And that will be also in the description of this podcast. Now, let's talk about Home Loans Network, which is on TikTok is home.loans.network. That is loan programs. Why would you do that? Stories, right? The reason I talk about more loan programs on there than the Real Estate Deal Room is because some real estate investors knows a lot of the programs out there. Not all, but they do know a lot of the programs that are out there, and they understand different programs. And even the ones they don't understand, they've been around long enough. Like my son always called us the OGs. I'm 48. They've been around long enough to know they're the OGs in real estate investing, to know that in order to be successful, you have to have a good mentor or a good partner or somebody that you just admire. And I try to be that person that they admire. So it's like, if you're doing business with me, you already know, hey, Ebonie's going to choose the right deal for us based upon either the state that we're in, what our credit score is, how much assets that we have, how much of a down payment we're willing to put down, what type of property it is, or if it's just simply a freaking weird loan structure. Okay. But like I said, the Home Loans Network, I made this like intentionally completely different. That particular TikTok channel is where I teach loan programs and financing strategies through stories, because embarrassment is a fantastic teacher. Like, there's times you're going to catch me on this podcast. I might be stuttering. I don't know, because sometimes I will stutter, especially if I talk fast. And I'm a fast talker, not because I'm a slick talker. I just talk fast. And so I try to slow myself down for the purpose of making sure people hear me and understand me. And one of the reasons I talk so fast is because I have so much information and so much knowledge to share. And that is why I do the podcast. That is why I have my social medias. And that is why I have both of the TikToks. And I think they're both great for first-time home buyers to join both of them, to be honest. But when you're looking strictly for learning purposes, you have to go to Home Loans Network. If you're a real estate investor and you're looking to grow and negotiate and figure other things out and what's going on in the industry, of course, the Real Estate Deal Room. But, as a real estate investor, Home Loans Network is cool too because you can learn about new programs that are out there, but at least they're short and it's straight to the point, and you're not listening to, a whole podcast and, me just saying what you should and shouldn't do in a sometime vulgar way, like that. But again, Home Loans Network, this is where I teach loan programs, financing strategies through stories. Because like I said, embarrassment is everything. I teach my kids, don't be me, be better than me. I'm going to show you that sometimes I could be the professional, fucker-upper. I do that for a reason, because I'm very successful. But I'll say, hey, I've done this. Don't you do this. Like, I've lived by experience, and I've grown and prospered by those experiences. On this page, this is where I talk about like FHA, conventional loans, VA loans, DSCR loans, cash out refinance, portfolio loans, hard money loans. Like, I talk about any type of loan that you could possibly think of. First time home buyers, grants that are out there. But importantly, when to use them and when not to use them, because everybody type of loan structure and loan program is different. There is not a one size fit all. That is why that, with me being a mortgage broker, I am able to do business with over 240 different lenders and investors. And because of that, that allows me to know what program is best for whether it's my real estate investors or whether it's my first time home buyers. The other thing that I do on a Home Loans Network TikTok is I talk about funny stories, like truly funny stories, that real funny stories that actually happen, whether they funny, whether they like WTF moments. Like, I'll give you a good example. I once had a first time home buyer who was terrified of the credit pull. So they asked me, if you pull my credit, will it drop 100 points instantly? I was like, what? Like, duh, no. They said, are you sure? Yes, absolutely. Yes, I'm sure. Then they whispered, should I just turn my phone off just in case? What the? Like, are you serious? Like, I had to explain. This is a mortgage process, not Bloody Mary. Like, the credit bureaus are not hiding in the mirror waiting for me to say your name 3 times. Like, they're not TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. Funny but real. Like, fear comes from not being taught. Like, again, you're only freaking as good as the information that is provided to you. I'll give you another good example. Like, I had an investor that was in Orlando, Florida, right? And he was like, I just want to pull some money out. That sentence alone tells me everything. Here were the numbers, though. The original purchase price was $250,000. The current value was $400,000. And the loan balance was $180,000. So that was 75% LTV, which is 75% loan to value. So the max loan was $300,000. The available cash out was $120,000. But maxing it out would actually destroy his cash flow. So these are the things that I explain. Like, you could tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you what can be done, and then I'll just bring it to your attention what may or may not be in your best interest, because I don't never want to see anybody be a failure. So instead, what we did was we took $80,000, preserved the monthly income, used the equity to buy the next property. So now he's able to build his real estate portfolio. So that's the difference between using a loan program and letting a loan program use you. Now, I'll tell you another, actually, I'll tell you I'll tell you a WTF story, right? And I was just like, did I just hear that? And these are the things that I talk about on a Home Loans Network, TikTok page. Now, let me leave you with a story that still make me stare at the wall like, what the fuck just happened? I had a borrower who applied for a mortgage. Everything looked fine. The underwriter asked, why did you open up 3 new credit cards yesterday? My borrower responded and was like, I wanted my score to go up faster, so I maxed them out. Wait, what? Like, what? Like, if you can see my face right now, like I still do this to this day because that killed the deal at the closing table. Maxed them out? I literally reread the email slowly and twice. Like, did this say he maxed them out so he can increase his credit score? So you thought by taking your debt up, your credit score was going to go up? Yeah, I just took a deep breath on that one, for real, because I get that all the time. But this is why at home.loans.network exists, right? This is why that page exists. Why do I need both platforms? Like people always ask me, because a first-time home buyer does not need to know about DSCR ratios yet, debt service coverage ratios yet. And investors don't need to know what a damn PMI is. They don't care. Like they're not even in the PMI stage. They own something else. Mixing those conversations together creates confusion, and confusion can cost money. So let me do this again, and I need you to hear this closely. The real estate deal room sharpens how you think, analyze, and structure deals. Okay. That's the real estate deal room TikTok. Make sure you join it. Home Loans Network teaches loan programs, financing strategies, and funny stories and lessons that you would never forget. So you will not be one of my stories. Unless you decide you want to be a successful story, that's awesome too. So that TikTok is home.loans.network. Like I said, I teach you all the different loan programs that's out there, the financing strategies, and the lessons that I promise you will never, ever forget. Together, though, they make you smarter. Honestly, both TikTok pages make you smarter, but it doesn't confuse the algorithm either, and it doesn't confuse you. You know today if you want to learn about mortgage programs. You know today if you want to learn about real estate investing. So this is why this is important. On another note, Wind Down Wednesdays, I try to do it from both platforms on live, right? So the real estate deal room, like I said, is for education, market insights, deal breakdowns, and live strategies. Home.loans.network for loan programs is all about financing strategies and real stories that make you laugh and learn and remind you, sometimes you might have, deja vu's like, oh my God, I remember that was me. But anyway, whatever you do, don't forget to join me every Wednesday for Wind Down Wednesdays, where I go live on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central Standard Channel, Central Standard Time on YouTube at the Real Estate Deal Room. Please bring your questions, bring your deals, bring your scenarios, because I love to talk. I love to share information because they say sharing is caring, and I do not charge you nothing because I promise you this is what I genuinely love doing. Plus, I believe in karma. Karma is everything. What goes around, come around. So if you can't make it though live or want something answered privately, DM me on TikTok. Make sure you join both or one of the other TikToks. Be one of my followers. Send me a message. I genuinely love helping and walking people through this, like all the different strategies, the questions. So whether you're buying your first home, structuring your next investment, or just simply trying not to make an expensive mistake, I am here to assist you every step of the way in your real estate and mortgage educational journey. I am Ebonie, and this has been the Deal Room powered by Home Loans Network, where we run numbers, ask questions, make smart moves, we learn. Please don't open a credit card before closing. I'm going to leave you with that. As a matter of fact, don't open up no new debt before you close it. Once you get to the closing table, the money is wired to the closing table, and you got your freaking keys, and you signed all the paper, and they said they shake your hand, then go do what you need to do. But after you've purchased all of your real estate properties. Until then, I will see you on Wednesdays live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube at the Real Estate Deal Room. Make sure you join me. Make sure you join the TikToks, because I don't believe in all this faceless stuff. I don't like all of this AI. I'm very, very tech savvy and very knowledgeable. But at the same time, I'm still all about personal relationships. People do business with people they like. People do business with people they know. People do business with people they trust. I don't want to be a faceless person. I want to be your friend.